Tom Clark's Main Event is a Boink Studios production. Follow us on Twitter and Facebook at Boink Studios, and check us out on boinkstudios.com, where you can see all of our projects, past, present, and future. And now, on with the show.
This is Daddy's show. Step off.
Hey, what is up? Welcome back to the program, folks. Thank you for tuning in. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Tom Clark, and this is Tom Clark's Main Event. We're back once again here on Facebook Live. Glad you are with us. We're also recording today. The show will post on YouTube and is always available on boinkstudios.com. Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes, Google Play, and iHeartRadio. This is episode number 126, and yes, we're moving right along here on Facebook Live. I want to thank everyone for joining us, of course, and for coming back each and every week. Much thanks to Heidi Ryan and the whole crew at Wrestling Rumors for giving us this platform. We do greatly appreciate it. So episode number 125 was the Elimination Chamber Review. We talked about the show, gave match results, and talked about a bunch of other stuff as well. But now we're moving on, and we're going to do something a little different today. We're going to open the floor to questions and see where the day takes us. That's right, folks. This time, the main event is the Friday free-for-all, which is a bit ironic because we always do this on Friday, but I just wanted to get the F's in there, that kind of thing. So, how's everyone doing out there today? Jenna's leading us off, talking about Finding My Family. It is amazing. It's a good film. Go see it. As you guys know, I told you this a few times now. I saw it at a private screening several weeks ago, back in January. Was it January, early February, January, late January, something like that. And it was really good, and I told you guys about it then. So, yeah, it's definitely a must see if you're a pro wrestling fan. So I would definitely check it out. I think you'll be more than happy with it. Okay, so what else we got? Heard what you said about WWE is just a show. Okay, James, I don't know what you're talking about, bro. I heard what you said about WWE is just a show. Okay, don't know. You can elaborate if you'd want to. Be fine with me. Okay, so it was very cool to see the Hardy Boys come back live, Barry. I was at SmackDown Live this past Tuesday night. Very cool to see Matt come out with Jeff. Did not expect that. Nice little pop from the crowd. Everyone was really excited. SmackDown was a good show. Me and the kid had fun. As you guys know, this is our fifth event since 2018, starting with Raw back in October. The funny part is we went to the Raw the week after Roman Reigns went out to go deal with his leukemia. We were there the week after. And then this year at SmackDown, we're back the night after he came back to WWE, which is really cool. So Devin's already suggesting a Shield comeback. It's possible, and I'll hit a couple of different questions here right now that we've already had inquiries. There it is. Supposedly Dean is gone after the month of April. He was being advertised for bookings after the month of April, and that a lot of people took that to mean, oh God, they've talked him into staying. All right. But it turns out that they're going to remove his name from those bookings. Those bookings are made, and those promotions and advertisements are made a while back, but nothing is set in stone. And apparently what WWE has said is that they're going to remove his name from those promotions. So apparently April is it for him. If they do a Shield reunion that's going to be short-lived, it'll be tiny, whatever, maybe a run up to WrestleMania 35, and that's it. There you go. I don't know, Jen, if we ever got on camera. Barry's going to Raw. Nice. Yeah, there you go. So, Barry, have fun, man. James talking about we did a video about SmackDown Live. So, yeah, we did go live before SmackDown started on Tuesday. Had like over 5,000 and some views. I think we've gone above that number now. Really cool for you guys to tune in and check it out. SmackDown was good. Well, like I said, we had fun. My kid had a blast. So, we did stay afterward for 205 Live. A lot of people left, and halfway through the Gulak, and who did Gulak work that night? Refresh my memory. I'm all of a sudden losing. Akira Tozawa? Was it Tozawa that a Gulak worked? God, I'm blanking on it. Sorry, man. But halfway through that match, people were... No, it was Brian Kendrick. Halfway through the match, people were chanting, "This is boring." and it started like way over here, 2 or 3 dudes, and then all of a sudden everyone do it. So I turn around to the guys behind me. I said, then go home. If this is boring, go home. But see, what they do is they hold a main event over your head, a dark match main event. The dark match main event that night was Asuka versus Charlotte Flair. And they sort of held it over your head. In other words, hey, if you guys sit through 205 Live, you get this. I'm like, I was going to stay for 205 Live anyway. I'm a pro wrestling fan. I'm not just a WWE fan, okay? I'm more a pro wrestling fan than I am anything else. So there you go. That's just me. Carolyn talking about Roman. So the huge news this week, of course, Roman Reigns' return. We're very glad to see him back. Awesome. Good for him. I did a radio spot yesterday where I talked a little bit about it. And it's very cool, man. Good for him and his family, his friends, and his fans, obviously. Someone suggested to me that the whole leukemia thing was a work. Shame on you. It's okay to question. I told you guys last week and the week before then, actually. I don't dismiss anyone asking questions. I think it's fine to be curious. No problems with that. But once you ask the question, move on. Let's don't start accusing him of doing that, because honestly, I think that's a bit harsh and it's a bit over the line, in my opinion. Having said that, it's the pro wrestling promoter's job to lie to you, just as it's the pro wrestler's job to lie to you. So I get why people would question, but once the question is obviously answered, let it go. That's my opinion. That's my advice. See, Roman and Rollins going back to stab Ambrose. Going to backstab Ambrose. No, I don't see that, Devin, at all. My opinion. Rollins has not said anything. I don't know that Dean has a contract extension. As where it stands right now, as far as I know right now today, Dean's done after April. He's going to move on with whatever it is he's wanting to do with the rest of his life. If he's going to stay in the business, if he's going to take a break, I don't have any idea. But supposedly right now, April's it. Now, anything could change. You guys know that. We've seen the craziest stuff happen in that company specifically over the years. Anything could change, man. So at the drop of a hat, a new deal could possibly be signed. If I sit here and tell you, and you guys know I don't speak in absolutes. I never have and never will. I think you paint yourself into a corner. You set yourself up to be proven wrong later. And I'm okay being wrong. But I'd rather be wrong because I put forth my best guess versus me sitting here telling you, by God this and by God that. I don't want to do that stuff. It's not who I am. You guys know that. So I will not sit here and say it's absolutely not going to happen because I don't know that for sure. No, Will, not at all, bro. You and I are good. No worries, man. No worries at all. Timmy's talking about Dean going to AEW. I mean, anything's possible. I'm not going to dismiss that. And I think it's okay that you asked that question, just as I think it was okay for Will to believe that there was some truth to the rumor that, maybe the whole thing was a work. It's okay to believe that. I don't believe that. Okay, that's me. I just don't think, as someone just said here during the scroll, that WWE wouldn't go that far. I believe that 100%. Barry, to your point, Renee's got her own job. She's got her own career with WWE. You know what I mean? That's just how it is. So, if she wants to stay, let her stay. You know what I mean? Will is asking, but yes, I do think it's going to be a triple threat match at WrestleMania 35 for the Raw Women's title. It'll be Becky versus Charlotte versus Ronda. I don't see any way they can go with it. It's the only thing that makes sense. I think they're working up to it for sure. Andrew says he has to work evenings, has to record Raw and SmackDown and watch the next day. SmackDown didn't record, so he missed it. It was a good show. Like I said, they didn't set the woods on fire or anything, but I enjoyed it. I haven't been to SmackDown in a while, actually. Batista Triple H main event WrestleMania? No, I don't think so, David. My opinion, I think they'll be the semi-main event. How do you go over on the WWE Championship though? But it's Triple H. In my opinion, and this is just me talking, folks, I say you put Batista and Triple H in the middle of the card with maybe 3 matches left after them. That's just my take. I don't know if they're going to do that, but that's where if it were me doing it, I'm just saying that's where I would put it. I think Vince replacing Cope with Owen against Bryan at Fastlane was wrong. Well, to be fair, this, and I wrote about this week after it happened. I will tell you for sure, the crowd was instantly deflated after this happened. There was something that hung over, and I'm just telling you my point of view here, man. There was something that hung over the crowd from that point on after Vince came out and took it away from Kofi. Now, you're supposed to be upset. You're supposed to be mad. You're supposed to be ticked off at Vince. Vince, supposedly, his character is now the same character that you think it is in real life. And that's the Vince McMahon that changes everything and flies by the seat of his pants, as we all believe that he is and always has done for a while now, okay? Now, they're just incorporating that because, as we all know, they are watching social media and they're listening, okay? Big Brother is watching. So there you go. That's my take. But, yeah, so it did hang over the crowd the rest of the night on SmackDown. In my opinion, and we can jump to the next thing here in a sec, but in my opinion, they are creating the underdog story. Steve Austin was the ultimate underdog story. Daniel Bryan was. CM Punk was. But I think with Becky and now Kofi, they are trying to create the underdog story. They're trying to create the feel-good moment rather than just allowing it to happen organically. And I have an issue with that. It's nothing I'm losing sleep over, just my take. But I don't think it's exactly the same, which is why I think Becky's getting criticism right now for the way they're handling her, the way she's handling herself at times. No, Austin never got that. No, Punk didn't get that. Punk got it in whispers, but nothing as loud as we're hearing with Becky, right? And Daniel never got it, I don't believe. Becky's getting it, and I don't know if Kofi will, but I think I wouldn't be surprised if he did. It's my take. Let's see. Jim says it might be deflating at first. I haven't got mad about it in the long run. Yeah, for sure. And Mania is what they're building toward, 100%. Do you think we see Taker in, what was that question? Was that AEW, I'm assuming? Or Taker at Mania? Right now, Taker's not booked. Unless you guys missed it, go to YouTube and look it up. It's fascinating, to say the least. He showed up on a program on YouTube. Okay, and I just wrote about this in 2 different columns, actually, last night and this morning. And now I've forgotten the guy's name. Pastor Ed Young. I'm not making this stuff up. You can't make this up if you had to. This is a bit surreal. The Undertaker as a born-again Christian now. Good for him. Not dismissing that at all, okay? But he gets all choked up and emotional talking about his wife and Vince McMahon and the business and stuff and getting saved and all this other stuff. And, go with God, as I say. Good for him. But I wrote a column this morning that we'll post this weekend, and it's not accusing the guy of anything, but it's just asking the question: has his mystique been ruined because of not just this, but the AEW thing? And the casual fan, to the fans that don't follow this stuff on Facebook and Twitter and YouTube, probably not. But to fans like us that follow this stuff 24/7, like I'm sure a lot of you actually do the way I do, watching and listening today, maybe his mystique has been lessened to a great degree. Again, I'm just posing the question. I don't know how I feel about it. But as of right now, today, he's not booked at Mania. That could change as quick as a phone call from Vince to Taker. We'll see what happens. Jen is asking if NXT has heat with the main roster. Nothing that I've heard about, and I don't know why they would. New blood is good, and it causes the blood that's already there to maybe step up their game. I will tell you that in the tag match with Ricochet and Aleister Black against Rusev and Nakamura, I saw Rusev going a little bit more firm than he has recently. I'm not saying he stiffed Aleister, but I think he went a little bit more snug than usual. Nothing wrong with that. You can't take working snug in the ring. Maybe you shouldn't be in the ring, right? But I think that it's going to cause the other guys to step their game up, which I think is good. Naman asked, why is Batista a heel and not a face? Naman, I got one question for you. Did you see his return in 2013? Train wreck for many different reasons, not the least of which was that they tried to push him as a babyface. And I think that was a mistake, and I think they see that now, and I think they're going to go the right route, which is him being heel, which makes perfect sense. Ms. Lopez says that her 8-year-old was jumping up and down when she heard Roman was back. I watched it with the family on the TV. It was a big moment because I wanted to see what he said, and it was really good. If it didn't put tears in your eyes, I question your heart. I don't really. I'm just saying it was an emotional moment, and good for him. What else we got going on? So we can talk about the whole Batista thing. He did come back, supposedly attacked Ric Flair from behind and all this other stuff in the dressing room. I've written about that already. I'm good. I'm for it. He's wanted to come back for a long time. I've reported that. We all know that. It's no mystery. He's been wanting to come back for a while. They screwed it up in 2013 when they decided to bring him back babyface and put him in Daniel Bryan's way, which is not smart because at the time they still weren't convinced that Daniel deserved the WrestleMania spot. It wasn't the plan, okay, that I know of, and it was obvious actually. But then they finally relented and said, this guy's so over, we got to go with it, okay? But Batista versus Randy Orton would have been a terrible main event without Daniel involved. I think we all know that. So I think they're trying to not rewrite history, but get it right this time. Brian says, can we just get rid of part-timers like Lesnar, I assume you're saying? I have mixed feelings on that because I always have mixed feelings on that. Is Brock good for business? He's definitely a marquee name. Brock definitely brings fans to the table. Brock definitely brings eyes to the product. Does he do it enough to make a difference? It's debatable, I suppose, in some degree. You can always look at the ratings and decide for yourself how you feel about that. Having said that, the Universal Champion, the top title holder on Monday Night Raw, WWE's flagship program, is not there. But we've seen this many times before. It's no mystery. It's nothing new. We see this all the time with him. That's how it is. As I've said before, don't get upset with Brock. He's following the game plan. Get upset with Vince McMahon. WWE, if you want to get upset at anybody, they're the ones that made the deal. Okay? I don't know how I feel about it. It is what it is. Rebecca asks, can someone please beat Lesnar? Sure, but then he'll beat them in return. Roman's the last guy to get over on him. And I don't think Brock will get back over on Roman. So Roman will hold the really the only victory that's going to go unanswered that I know of in the course of Brock's really his entire career. The only victory that's gone unanswered. There you go. Let's see what else we got here. Do I think Flair will be involved in Batista versus Triple H? Absolutely, Jenna. I think Flair will be involved. I wouldn't be surprised if Flair helped Batista screw Triple H, though, and they pulled the swerve. I don't think Batista's winning this match. Just me. Early prediction time. Yay. I think Hunter's going over because it's Hunter. And just my take. No, it's not always about winning and losing. No, I'm not trying to bash the game or anything like that. Just my opinion. I think he goes over on Batista, but I'm okay whatever happens, to be fair. Miss Lopez, I agree with you 100%. Totally wrong to think that way. Does Kofi getting what seems to be a big singles push because they split at the new? I am of the opinion, and I've been of this opinion, you can trace this show back to last year when we first started, and I was talking about then, I'm going to talk about now. I don't see the New Day imploding as the Shield did. I think it's the wrong move. The New Day should end on a handshake. It should end in a gentleman's agreement that, hey, it's time for us to do our own thing. We'll always be a family. We'll always be brothers. We'll come back to this one day. But for right now, we're going to go do us. You do you, I'll do me, that kind of thing. That's how I think it should go down. Jim says part-timers, when they bring back legends or Hall of Famers, bring extra eyes. The product is a good thing. Thank you, Jim. I agree with that. Part-timers holding titles, taking main event spots is a bad thing. But, Jim, wouldn't that go along with the idea of putting eyes on the product, though, if the guy had the belt? I see your argument. I'm not going to dismiss or anything like that. I see where you're coming from for sure. Carlos, there has been talk of the Shield having the fourth member. I don't know who came up with that. I don't know if that came from anything within inside the company, because if it did, I'm sure not aware of it. I think that's people speculating, and I guess the idea is that you create a fourth member, so then when Dean leaves, he might slide to Dean's spot. But I think Dean's spot in the Shield is kind of like Arn Anderson's spot in the Horsemen. No one takes that spot, okay? And if they try, it's a bad move. My opinion. I don't think it's something they should ever do. So, I think if this is it for Dean, that it's that's it for the Shield. I think they can still reference it. They can still bump fists or whatever it is they're doing, the salute, But I think that just let the gimmick die. Let it rest until it's time to bring it back again. And the good thing about the Shield gimmick, you can always bring it back, and it'll always work, and it will always make money, regardless of when you do it. So. Let's see. Bobby, yes, you can take your kid. I took my kid has not seen the movie yet, but he's 10. I would have no problem with seeing it. There's a little bit of toilet humor in there. There's a little bit of language. It's nothing you have to worry about. There's no nudity, no sex or anything like that. Sex appeal if you call the women being scantily clad. If that's the case, don't let them watch Raw or SmackDown or whatever, right? I think you'd be perfectly fine with it. A little bit of language, but it's colorful. It's okay. You know what I mean? I think it'll be fine. You might want to tell him earmuffs or her, whatever. My apologies. But, yeah, there you go. Will says, I saw where a match booked between Kofi and Big E, which I remember wrestling. I don't know who's got that, Will. I've not seen that, to be fair. Yes, Bobby, no problem. Talking about Nikki. James, can I be honest with you, bro? I don't care about Nikki Bella's dating life. Not to dismiss what you're saying, dude, but I just don't care. I don't get into all the TMZ stuff. I'll write about what they report sometimes if I'm asked to, or if I have to, or whatever. I just don't get in all that he said, she said stuff. I do sometimes. I'm not saying I don't. I don't want to. Can we just put it that way? I'll do it if the job requires it, but it doesn't require it right now with her, so I don't. Jenna says she's taking her nephew, and he's like, yeah, I think you'll be fine. Like I said, kids are growing up faster, man. I got a 10-year-old that's living proof of that, dude. He's like 10-year-old going on 18. I'm not playing with that, dude. They're exposed to so much crap. You just got to be careful. My kid's exposed to a lot of crap, to be fair. And it's tough. It's tough being a parent right now. It's tough being a parent regardless. I'm sure in the caveman days it was tough being a parent. You got to worry about those pterodactyls. You know what I mean? They're going to carry your kids right off. Don't trust them. It's the truth. So that was just a lame bit of humor. So there you go. But anyway, yeah, it's always tough being a parent, but especially in 2019. It's not getting any easier either, man. What do you think? KO got 0 fan reaction when he was introduced, tagged in. I haven't commented on that. KO's in, people say, oh, he's in great shape. He's in better shape. KO's not in great shape. He's in better shape. And I'm tough on Owens, but I think people should be tough on Owens. He's a veteran. He's been around long enough to know he should look the part. And someone on the show last week mentioned that carrying extra weight is bad for the knees. He just had double knee surgery. Excellent point. Couldn't agree more. You know, my weight loss thus far has been well documented because I tell you guys about it all the time. So, and to be fair, he's had plenty of time to get in shape. Don't tell me he can't, because we know he can. He just chooses not to. It's whatever. If I could talk to the man face to face, I'd respectfully say that to him as a guy that has weight on him also. Just saying, man. No, it's not ruining my day. No, it doesn't. I don't think it makes me less effective. But him coming back in this, I mean, he's a heel. WWE right now is going to book a heel, the top heel in SmackDown versus the guy that's probably still a heel, but we're not sure. Owens is a heel, period. He's not going to be babyface. I just don't see it. I just don't see it. Someone just called me a KO hater. It's funny. It's funny. I hope you're playing because, you know, all it takes is one person to take your words and twist them. It's whatever, man. It's totally fine with me. Thomas asked if Kurt Angle will retire after WrestleMania. I would not be surprised if WrestleMania 35 is his swan song. And how should he go out? Can I be honest with you? If I were Angle, I would be Angle against John Cena. And maybe Angle does the job to John. Or maybe just puts him over on John. I don't know how you would finish up that story. But I think you could trace it all the way back to John's ascension, no pun intended, as the Ruthless Aggression era began. I think that's where you go with that, in my opinion. That's the match you book. It's me talking. Barry talking about the honky tonk man. So let's go. All right. So listen, Nancy, welcome back to the show. I'm not a honky tonk fan, man, because I was never a World Wrestling Federation fan growing up. I didn't. During the 80s, you guys know, I was a Jim Crockett fan at heart and still am to this day. Always will be. I grew up, I'm in the South, for better or worse. And I grew up watching Jim Crockett promotions. I knew the WWF existed. I saw it on TV. I watched it when I could. If I missed it, I didn't care. Honky Tonk Man was a cartoon character, but a lot of guys were during that era. There's no disrespect to him. He did what he was hired to do. I don't care much for him as a performer. I care for him even less as a wrestler. Do I care that he's going in the Hall of Fame? No, because it is the WWE Hall of Fame, not a Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame. There's a difference, folks. WWE is Showtime all the time, so I don't care who they put in. It makes no difference to me. Do I have favorites I'd like to see put in? Absolutely. Are they going to get in? Maybe not. Who knows? But at this point, it's whatever they want to do. I'm not shocked at all that Honky Tonk's going in. Not surprised in the slightest. Barry says he was a great worker. Barry, in your opinion, he's a great worker. Not in my opinion, not from where I'm sitting. I don't think the word great has ever been used with Honky Tonk Man. I think he was subpar at best, and he had the benefit of having rivalries with great workers around him. But I don't call him a great worker by association. I just don't. But again, I'm not hating on you, bro. That's just me. That's my take. I just don't see it. I don't see it, never have. I think if one could take off the goggles of what he's always known and look at it objectively, maybe I'm not doing that and you are. Maybe that's the answer. Maybe you are looking at it objectively and I'm biased toward, Jim Crockett Promotions. I don't know, but whatever the case may be, I don't share that point of view at all. Rhonda and Becky. Chris. So, bam. You want some entertainment besides this show, and thank you for watching and listening. Go check out Rhonda and Becky shooting missiles at each other on Twitter. It's getting insane. It's stuff I can't repeat and won't repeat here on the show. It's insane right now. They're going at it tooth and nail, and now they're getting criticized. I saw today someone criticizing Rhonda. Well, someone needs to tell her that's not real. Shut up. It's fun. It's entertaining. Rhonda's treating it like a shoot because you should. Listen, if you're in the business of pro wrestling, you need to treat it like a shoot. We all know it's not. It doesn't make a difference because when you treat it like a shoot, guess what happens? You blur the lines between reality and fiction. Okay? And it makes it that much more interesting for us, the viewer. Get that? I love it. Andrew, sign up for Twitter. Go check it out. Do nothing else. Go do it. Jim says Ron and Becky feed on Twitter is way better than what they're doing on TV. Jim, I could not agree more. I dig it as well. Dom asking about Bray Wyatt. When's he coming back? By the way, I'm working WWE Access in Brooklyn. Should be fun. You're working WWE Access, Dom? In what capacity, my friend, are you working? Let me know, Dom. I'm interested. Are you going to go see it? I'm not sure what that means. Let me know. Yeah, to your point, I agree absolutely. Now, someone asked about Bray. Was that you asked about Bray? So I don't know the latest on Bray. He did come out on Twitter, speaking of Twitter, and he ripped a website that I'm not going to name because I'm going to, not throw my peers under the bus. But he ripped on another pro wrestling website saying that, stop reporting on every time I tweet, stop reporting on it. So evidently he's getting a little sick of it. But the thing is, we're sick of not seeing him. Not taking up for anybody here, but WWE, put this guy back on TV. Make it happen. Find something for him to do. For real. Dude, come on. Oh, Dom, volunteer. Sweet. That's awesome. Nice. Brendo, hey, welcome back to the show. Jason, what's up, man? Jason's a regular viewer like a lot of you folks are. Thank you, Jason. Wyatt plans to show up after WrestleMania, from what I hear. Jason, you're probably right. I would say that the Raw after WrestleMania. Dom, autograph signing, greeting, working the line, and possibly merchandising. Nice, Dom. Well done. Have fun, man. Get some autographs yourself, right? Let's see. Let's see what else we got going on here. Someone just asked, was it Victor asked about 4 horsewomen versus 4 horsewomen? Yeah, I think they're building to that. It's a lot more likely now than before. I will tell you, and again, I guess I'm going to sound like a hater today. I really don't mean to, guys. I'm not sold on Marina Shafir and Jessamine Duke. I don't. I'm not. I don't think that they look plausible in the ring. Shafir better than Duke. Duke is tall and gangly and doesn't have a lot of muscle tone. And it's just not, when I look at her, I'm not seeing pro wrestler. Now again, this is one guy's point of view, man. You can take it and dismiss it, or you can agree, or do whatever, go with God. But when I look at these two, you know what I see? I see WWE going, wait, they're MMA fighters. They're Ronda's best friends. Get them in now. I just don't, I'm not feeling that. I think that, and they're not rushing. I'm not suggesting that they're rushing. They're keeping them off TV. They're putting them on in short bursts. They're learning their craft. Good for them. As it stands right now today, if you ask me today how I feel about it, I don't care about either one of them. Doesn't mean I have any disrespect toward either one of them. I just don't care about it right now. Maybe they'll make me care. I'd like to be proven wrong. I'm totally fine with that. I was proven wrong back in the day. And God, I'm going to do her disrespect by not remembering her name. She was a diva back when they were still called divas. She did the diva search, I think. She was the GoDaddy girl. Someone help me out here. Why am I not remembering her name? Told you. Jam full of pro wrestling stuff. Got no room for, stuff like names and whatnot. What's her name? Not Carmella's not right. Give me that name. The GoDaddy girl. She became women's divas champion. What's her name? Help me out here, folks. Not Maria. No. Brunette. She did that thing where she twirled. And she became a wrestler later. Candace. Thank you, Jenna. My God in heaven. What's wrong with me today? Candace Michelle? Yes? So here's the thing about Candace. I didn't care about her at all. And every time she got on TV and did that twirl, and by the way, from a guy's perspective, gorgeous, unbelievable body. I'm just saying. But every time she did that twirl in the ring, I'm like, turn it off. I got sick of it. You guys know the deal. I want to see the wrestling. It's okay to have sex appeal. I'm fine with that. Too much, it turns me off. I want to see the wrestling. It's what I'm there for. So I got sick of it. Then Candace learned how to work, and Tom shut up. See how that works? I shut up quick. God, Candace got so good, dude. For real. Much better than I ever could have believed she would have been able to do. Very impressed. So yeah, I was proven wrong. I've been proven wrong before. I'm totally fine with that. Don't let anyone ever tell you that Tom thinks he's right and he doesn't want to change. Not true. I'll change. It's fine. Prove me wrong. I'm capable of changing my opinion. There you go. Thank Jim. Yeah. Paul says, do I think Vince over-meddling storyline is leading to his retirement, Triple H taking over? They speculated on that on Wrestling Observer recently, and I think it makes sense. I don't think Vince will ever fully let go. Having said that, Vince is looking pretty old right now. So, there you go. Alma, what's up? Asking if the Fantastics go in the Hall of Fame. I'd love to see the Fantastics go in, but I think the Midnight Express should go in first. They should have a tag team heavy Hall of Fame at some point. What's up, Severin? Let's see. Alicia, welcome back to the show. Totally. Andrew asks, wonder what is going on with Ronda Rousey leaving her championship belt in the ring and walking out. I think that they're trying to maintain her babyface status. And by maintaining, I mean holding on with everything they have within their power, with their nails digging in, because they don't want her to be heel. They don't. They want her to get over with the crowd. And I think the only way you do that is take her down the same road they took John Cena down, where you make the enemy the boss instead of making the enemy her. They deflect attention from her and put it on the boss, much in the same way they did with John with countless opponents over the years, where John stepped up. John stepped up for Punk, remember, against Vince, and said, Punk needs to be in this. Punk deserves this. I'm facing Punk, and that's it. And then after that, Vince got the fired as head of Raw and SmackDown. Remember that stuff? I remember all that. So there you go. Raw was good, Danny. Absolutely, Raw was much better than previous episodes for sure. Let's see. Frank's asking about Hurt Ambrose booked through May. No, Frank. Supposedly that report was true in terms of people seeing his name out there. However, WWE is supposedly going to pull his name from those bookings now from the advertisement, because the advertisement was set months ago, before I guess he decided to leave. And we said this earlier, folks, that supposedly they're going to remove his name now. Oh, Robbie talking about TNA. Yeah, for sure. Yep. Velvet Sky. 100%. Velvet Sky grinding on the second rope as if it's a porn. I have a problem with that. Again, no disrespect. Use what brought you to the dance. If you find a way to get over in this business and make money, you should stick with it, because that means it's working. That means you succeeded. That means you're making money. That's good, okay, for you. I don't care about it. I think it's cheap. Much in the same way when I see, if I see a band and, say it's a female lead singer and a lead guitarist that's male, and she's, grinding on his leg and stuff, I'm like, I don't need that. You know what I mean? I just don't need that. Now, listen, I'm one guy. This is one guy's opinion, dude. You might look at that and say, oh, it's Showtime. I love it. Bring me some more of that. I just don't care about it. That's just me. Dance break. There was a dance break on SmackDown. That was pretty cool. So, let's see. Listen, I know I'm missing comments, folks. You know how this works. I only get that much on the screen at one time. I'm trying to answer some as we go here. What do you think about WWE hiring Dana Warrior for the creative team? So, I woke up this morning to that news. And I'm already seeing people on Twitter who know so much more than you do, and me, by the way, either blasting or defending. The good thing about social media is that we can all have an opinion and express our opinion. The bad thing about social media is that we can all have an opinion and express our opinion. See, it's a double-edged sword. Because with the good comes the bad, and with the really smart people comes the babbling morons. And unfortunately, babbling morons have already gotten in on this subject right now. People have asked the question, what does Dana Warrior know about pro wrestling storylines? What does she know about creative? Is this a smart move? And right away, people who defend the billion-dollar company, as I've said before, are currently defending the billion-dollar company and attacking anyone that doesn't agree with Dana Warrior being hired. Because obviously they're anti-woman or they're anti-this, no, they're not. It's okay to ask the question. It doesn't make you wrong. It doesn't make you right. It's okay to ask. Do you understand? I have a problem with people. When you defend the billion-dollar company, do you hear me? The billion-dollar company. When you defend them, remember who you're defending. I'm not just talking about WWE. I'm talking about any sports franchise on the planet. Any business in any realm of business, whether it's sports entertainment or whatever. When you defend the billion-dollar company, you're defending the billion-dollar company full of $1 billion of talent, of resources, of lawyers, of really, really rich guys, okay? A lot of times, really rich, white, old guys, okay? That's what you're defending. You can defend that against one person? Come on. I'm just suggesting maybe we'd be smarter than that now. That's all I'm saying. Alicia says she's reserving judgment. I agree with you, Alicia. Miss Lopez says Warrior wasn't married to the Ultimate Warrior when he was wrestling. What does she know about wrestling? But see, Miss Lopez, to your point, excellent question. It's okay that you ask that, and it doesn't make you wrong for asking. This pro wrestling banter, unfortunately, is not a democracy. It's one guy saying, "No, you're wrong. No, you're wrong. No, you're wrong." So I don't do that. I'm not trying to put myself over. Maybe I am, unintentionally. Just where I'm sitting. That's nonsense. It's okay to wonder. It's okay to question. Raw was good. Why two words, brother love? That's funny. Bruce Pritchard back to WWE. Told you it was a big week in news. Bruce Pritchard back to WWE. Again, some people are asking why is a guy his age, is he going to be out of touch? I don't know if Raw had anything to do with Bruce's being back or not. Jim Cornette defended Bruce on Twitter on his podcast yesterday on the Jim Cornette Experience. I wrote about that last night. They're friends. I expect him to defend him. I would defend my friend, wouldn't you? But he also defended him by saying that Bruce Pritchard's not the yes man. He's the it man. When Vince is sitting there and he's saying, don't you get it? Don't you see it? Don't you understand it? That Bruce does get it, understands it, and sees it. He already knows because he and Vince are on the same wavelength. That's why he brought him back. His opinion. I'm totally fine with that. No, Brother Love wasn't on the show. He's talking about being backstage. Let's see. Bit, is that right? Bit Milligan. I think Rey Mysterio would be a great opponent for Daniel Bryan. I agree with that. But here's the thing I'm seeing. Two really small dudes for the WWE Championship. Not that it can't happen. I like both the dudes. But I just don't know if I see it. If WWE going that direction right now. That's just me talking. Put together Tessa, Charlotte, Rachel, Natalya as the new 4 horsewomen. Israel, my God, I love that. Israel won the No Prize for Tom Clark's main event this week. Israel, check your mailbox soon. It's on the way. Excellent work. I'm looking forward to Tessa Blanchard versus Charlotte Flair because it's going to happen. At some point, Tessa will sign with WWE. Don't know when, but it's going to happen. Blanchard versus Flair. Shut up with that. Or tag team. Either way, I'm so on board with that, 100%. Tina was at Raw. Hello, Tina. Everyone asked Tina how Raw was. She was there. Tina, I know you had a blast. I know you loved seeing Roman. I'm sure you did. Tina, I'm glad you had a good show. I had a fairly good SmackDown. Not as good as your Raw, for sure. Glad you had a blast. I was asking about the Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame. Where is the Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame Museum? I think I know that at one point. Yes, James, I went live before the show. Look at Wrestling Rumors on the videos. I'm there with my kid. We went live at like 7:40 or something that night, I think. Something like that. Maybe not quite. Maybe 7:20. Something along in there. The place was filling up. We had a masked dude sitting behind us. We made jokes about that during the whole broadcast. So if you could build a documentary of professional wrestling, who would you cast? Ooh, God, that's a good one, Andrew. Like in the lead roles as actors. Paul Giamatti as Paul Heyman. 110%. Don't know if I would cast Hemsworth as Hulk Hogan brother. But, Casting pro wrestlers is hard because you have to cast wrestlers that are actors that look like pro wrestlers and are in good shape. And that's not easy to do. So, Yeah, I don't know. Isaac, late to the show. How's it going? Doing good, Isaac. You're still in time, man. You got a little bit of time left. No worries. Yep. So as we said today, or said when we went on the air, this is just open time, man. Open floor. Whatever you guys want to talk about. We don't do it that often. Next week is the Fastlane preview show. So there you go. We'll do that next week. Then the week after will be Fastlane review. We're very predictable in that regard. Moises says, do you think AEW can sell out their pay-per-view in July at Jacksonville Stadium? I don't think they can. I know they can. They will. Absolutely sell it out, 100%. Wichita Falls, is that? Yeah, wow. I don't know, Alma. That's a great question. Naman says WWE should do an invasion angle with NXT and book it correctly. That you said a mouthful with the last bit of that deal. Book it correctly, because there's a possibility of squashing the whole NXT brand if they're not careful. Steven says, should Randy Orton create another heel stable to take over SmackDown while he became WWE champion, kind of like Legacy? If we haven't already seen it 100 times, I'd be okay with it. I like Randy a lot, always have. Whether they can do that now and make it good and make it entertaining and fun and exciting, I don't have any idea. It's an interesting concept. Who would you put in the stable underneath Randy, though? Would you do Legacy where it's younger talents, or would you put veterans with him? I put Andrade with Randy, maybe. Nakamura for sure. Imagine those three guys working together on the same page. You need a strong guy, though. Who would you be, your big strong guy? Would it be Rusev? I don't know if it'd be Rusev or not. Maybe. Rowan's already busy with Daniel Bryan. You could use somebody else. Who'd you get? Jim says, don't call it an invasion. Call it a takeover. Don't call it a comeback. I've been here for years. Excellent, Jim. Well done. I like that. Vince screws Seth Rollins next. Yeah, Douglas, maybe he will. Why not? He's screwing everybody else, man. Screwing them blue, okay? For sure. Howard, do you think Flair lobbied to take on Air Bump? How funny a conversation could that be to hear? You lost me on that. Air Bump? I get it. I got you. To take it on Air Bump. I don't know. All he had to do was lay down and get pulled out, right? I see where you're coming from. He's always a pro. He's a pro till the day he dies, man. Let's see. Mr. McMahon, Seth replacing somebody that's entirely qualified. I'm trying to look at your comment on the phone, Jason. Better match. Ooh, interesting. To your point, I'm sorry I missed what you said there. I wouldn't be surprised at all if Vince came out and screwed Seth next. Why not? Like I say, he's screwing everybody else. Jim, no worries, man. Welcome to the show. How do I feel about KO being given a title match? I think it's WWE's belt. They can do whatever they want to do with it. I'm okay with it. I'm not surprised. A little surprised when it happened. In the long run, grand scheme of things, not surprised at all. Jim says Vince comes out and takes Seth out and put Roman back in the main event. Yeah, and he's got every reason to hate Roman, right? Because Vince hates baby faces. Well, I hate him, pal. I'm putting a heel over. That's what he does. It's so funny. Don't you feel like sometimes you're being talked down to just a little bit? The heel puts the heel over. Isn't that funny? I don't know. Why are they just modeling Lacey Evans? Jen, because she can't work. Saying she's not the star they think she is, in my humble opinion. Again, as I said before, I was wrong about Candice Michelle. I could be wrong about Lacey Evans as well. But I just don't see what they see. Put it that way. That's just me talking. Brent says, she comes out to class up the place. Yeah, Jen. It's funny. Jenna says, I'm the best tonic after a hard day of volunteer work. Well, Jenna, thank you. Awesome of you. Tina says, matches were great. Show was great. It's cool to see Roman. A little bit of homecoming for him. He went to school here in Atlanta. Nice. Some were ticked about not seeing Flair, but they kept the storyline going. Best Raw been to. Tina, well done. Glad you had a blast. Ray, Andrade, and Ricochet as a stable. All small guys, Naman, is my answer to that. All small guys. You need a variety. You need size. That's what I'm saying. Don't need to have all size. You need some size. Bobby Roode to get a push after Fastlane, possible Finn Balor feud. I think Roode deserves something. Roode has been accused of not having the charisma, enough star factor to actually be a star in WWE. I don't know how I feel about that. I like Bobby. I've always liked him. I like to see him get more. He and Chad Gable are very good together, but they're just that. They're a thrown together tag team. I like them, don't love them, put it that way. I do enjoy their work together, but would I see Bobby get more? Yeah, but let's put this in perspective, folks. There's only so many top spots. Not everybody can be the guy, right? You want to see your favorites and the guys that you feel deserve it and have earned it get good spots, and hopefully he will. But if it's not meant to be, it's not meant to be. What are you going to do, right? Let's see. Rude versus Balor for IC title would be pretty great. I agree with that. Oh, totally. Who are we talking about, Danny? Perfect stable, high powerhouse, high flyer, mid-carder. Give me that stable again, Danny. I'm sorry I missed it. Brent says the Dusty Cup should be the best one yet. I'll agree with that to a certain degree. Why not? Batista versus Triple H. We've talked about that a little bit. Triple H, Missy, hello. Triple H is the best opponent for Batista. Absolutely. It's the right moment, perfect opponent. I wrote that today. It's on Wrestling Rumors. Go look it up. I wrote it last night, actually. Go read it, for real. Let's see. What else we got? Sky Pirates versus Boston Hug. Oh, I love that. That's a good one. Do I think Shane will turn heel on Miz at Fastlane? Yes, but I do. I think it's written in the cards. It's in the stars, actually. Would WWE introduce a women's U.S. title? I don't know if it's necessary. I think they've got a lot of championship belts right now. I don't know if they need any more. That's the problem I have with it. Drew McIntyre, Ricochet, Zack Ryder. Interesting. Zack Ryder finally has something good to do, right? Tina says EC3 was on the pre-show and he lost. I'm not surprised at all. Severn, thank you, my man. Batista versus Randy Orton. Yeah, we did that. We did that in 2013. It went over like a lead balloon, man. Thank God Daniel was in that match, though. Just saying. Andrew says favorite Batista match, Avengers 2005. They had a good run. Batista did his best work against Triple H. He did good work against Eddie and against Ray. He did, for sure. And Booker, right? But his best work, the best work of his career came against Triple H. It's how he became a star. Triple H made him look like $1 million, which he will do exactly again at WrestleMania 35. They're a good pairing. Do I think John Cena will become 17-time world champion? Bobby, I don't want to see that happen. I just don't want to see it happen. I love Flair. I'm a Flair guy at heart to the core and always will be. I want to see number 16 protected. I don't want to see it broke ever. You asked me. That's my answer. Who's the best stable of all time? The original Four Horsemen. Okay, I'll amend that. The original Four Horsemen / Four Horsemen. All right, if you want my absolute best answer, the Four Horsemen with Barry Windham. Best stable of all time. My humble opinion. Let's see. What's next for the New Day? Kofi will find his way back to the title picture, I hope and pray. It will be Kofi Kingston versus Daniel Bryan for WWE Championship WrestleMania 35. That's my hope. We'll see. Balor versus Black. Yeah, you know what? I like to see. Oh my God, the Demon versus Aleister Black. Oh, would that be cool or what? I just don't want to see it. I love Flair. I want to see number 16 protected. There's been too many records broken in the business when you don't need to break them. People say records are made to be broken. Not in a scripted sport, folks. Not in a predetermined sport where the outcomes are 99% of the time up to the guys writing it. Just saying, you don't have to break records. The streak didn't have to be broken. And if it did, it should have ended that night. Taker should have went out like that, in my opinion. That's how you go out. Hand the baton to the next guy. Didn't happen. This is not, a team goes on a winning streak and then loses or wins in the end. This stuff is written beforehand. You don't have to break records. Leave Flair 16 alone. That's just my take. Black is the next big thing more than anyone believe. Paul, I agree with you. I love Aleister Black. I do. Douglas says NWO Wolfpack Red and Black. Okay, so Douglas brings up. So I have good memories of the Wolfpack. Here's the thing. Hindsight being 2020, and I knew this at the time. However, the music was cool and they looked cool together. Sting with the red and black instead of the white and black. At the end of the day, Sting never should have joined that faction because the NWO represented everything that Sting was against. Everything. Okay? Luger came out and made an impassioned speech talking about take your career into your own hands, do what you want to do for a change, stop being a company guy, whatever it was he said. I just didn't buy it. Sting was the company guy, and you made him change that to put him in the stable with the same call letters as the stable that tried to destroy his company. I didn't see it. Hindsight being 2020, I didn't like it at all. Finn versus Adam Cole. Sure. I'm all for that. I dig that all day. I like Adam Cole, baby. You see? Had to wear the shirt. I had Becky Lynch's shirt on SmackDown. She wasn't there. And my kid had AJ Styles' shirt on, and he showed up on the Titantron. It wasn't there. Okay? Not even a dark match. Not even an in-ring promo, for God's sake. I was not happy about not seeing AJ Styles. Okay? Not happy at all. I just wasn't. All right? What's your opinion of Dijakovic from NXT and Walter? First of all, I love both of them. Dijakovic, who didn't have to be Dijakovic, could have been Donovan Dijak, as he was before. And now it's a name that I got to be careful how I spell it when I write about him. Dijak, because it's, try writing that name like 30 times in a row and see how many times you get it wrong. I'm just saying, geez. But WWE has to get their name, get their money, got to get their money. Bam, get some money out of that dude's name so we can market it. Put it on t-shirts, merchandise. I get it. I hate it. He's got a tremendous upside. The stuff that guy can do, as big as he is, wow. Keith Lee, same thing. Yeah, I love the guy, for sure. Who else did you ask me about besides Dijakovic? Walter, as Nigel McGuinness calls him. I love him. He's old school. Look at him. He's old school pro wrestler, for sure. Old school body, old school gimmick, old school style. I love it. I'm old school. There you go. What else we got? Finn versus Ricochet. Yeah. They were going to do that. The word was they were going to do that, but they didn't want to do that on Raw. They wanted to switch it up. Vince, supposedly. So, Paul says Becky saying Ronda went full Russo on her had me. That was pretty cool. Yeah, as I said before, man, if you haven't seen the Twitter feud versus Becky versus Ronda, go check it out. Last time only, Hogan versus Undertaker. Israel, bite your tongue clean out of your head, my friend. I have no desire to see Hogan back in the ring again, especially not against Undertaker. Do you see Orton getting involved in Batista's match? If they do, Namon, then they're setting up heat between Batista and Orton. I don't see that working. I don't see why you'd want to do that. It's going back to the well, maybe one time too many. Just my take. Walter versus Brock. Brock will beat him. Because I haven't been proved wrong yet on that. Brock beats everybody except Roman. There's an asterisk there now because of Roman. Brock beats everybody in the end. He'll beat Walter too. Asuka going back to New Japan. I can only hope she doesn't. I've not heard anything about Asuka going back. I don't think she should. I think she's good where she is as long as WWE handles her correctly. Just my take. Maybe I'm dead wrong on that, but to be fair, she did work the dark match versus Charlotte at SmackDown, not even on TV. Asuka's so good. She's so good. The crowd was hot for Charlotte Flair because we're in Charlotte, okay? And Flair's daughter, hello. Charlotte, hello. We're in Charlotte, and Charlotte's there. And the crowd loved her. But guess what? She worked Asuka in the dark match. Crowd cheered for Asuka. That's how good she is. Okay? Because you can't deny that at all. Batista beats Brock. Don't see it, Jim. I think to your point, the match can happen. I don't see it. And if he does, Brock will beat him in return. And I haven't been proven wrong yet. Until I'm proven wrong, I'm sticking to that. That's how I feel. I don't think Shinsuke is going back either. Here's the thing. Go back and watch Shinsuke's video package that he did. Was it 360? It was something that he did on WWE Network. Or they did for him. When they were talking about when he first came to the company, he was going to not main event, but work AJ and all this other stuff. And they were talking to him. He said he had done everything in New Japan. There's nothing left to do. There's nothing left to do. If he does go back, what's there left to do? Work different guys? Okay, sure. Jay White? Sure. But he's going to go back to win the same belts he's already had? As someone, say in your particular line of work, say you've done everything in your position. You've done everything there is to do. You're going to get bored eventually, especially if you're successful at it. You're going to want to do something different. He just wanted to do something different. I applaud him for that. Joby, great question. Do you see any 3-time Hall of Famers? Who? Seems to be quite a few 2-time Hall of Famers. Ric Flair with Evolution. I think Evolution gets in at some point, which would make Triple H a potential 3-time Hall of Famer. And Randy Orton a 2-time. Batista a 2-time. I think it's entirely possible. Danny says Nakamura just moved his entire family to Orlando. There you go, Danny. What will they do with Roman as far as WrestleMania since he has returned? So the rumor right now, Keith, take this with a grain of salt, my friend, is that it could be Roman in some capacity at WrestleMania. One of the rumors has been that Seth might work twice that night. I just don't see that happening at all. I think they saved Seth for Brock. There's rumors about Fastlane that they might book Seth and Roman together against, was it McIntyre, Corbin, and who's the third guy? Elias? Maybe. I don't know. We'll see. Let's see. Isn't Charlotte Ring named after Charlotte? Yes, absolutely. How much of an influence do you think Roman has had on Dean Ambrose leaving? Joe, honestly, I don't know. I think that To Be Creative has had the biggest influence on Dean leaving. That's the word coming out, and that's what we've all been told, what we've all heard. I don't know if that's a fact or not. That's just what I've read and heard and been told. And actually, just like you guys have, I wouldn't be surprised. To Be Creative, for lack of a better term, sucks a lot of the times, to be fair, and has no clue what's going on. If they do have a clue what's going on, they're not showing us at all, are they? What's next for AJ? Naman, here's the part where it gets sticky for me. I don't think anything's left for AJ. I think he's done everything in the company with the exception of work Shawn Michaels, Triple H, or Undertaker. Book AJ Styles against Undertaker at WrestleMania 35. I said it. Book it. Make it happen. The Phenom against the Phenomenal One. You heard it here first. Maybe not, but you heard it here. Taker versus AJ. Make it happen. Shinsuke is happy where he is right now. WWE is paying very well. He's more than happy to do whatever the company wants him to do. Knock America. Jim, I can't argue that. The guy's happy, his family's happy. Leave him alone. Let him work. That's what I say. Roman didn't look ready to work a full match, in my opinion. I just love Roman in Seth's corner and save him for SummerSlam. I don't know if SummerSlam is a ways off, Tina. We're talking about the fall, right? I don't want to see that. I think Roman will be in the ring far before then. Kieran, yes. Do you think CM Punk will ever return? Not to WWE, no. I don't see it. I don't see it happening. As we've said before, folks, many times here on the program, CM Punk was fired on his wedding day via FedEx. Do that to me, I'm never coming back. I don't care what company it is. Don't care. Never coming back. Can't taught me to come back. Can't pay me enough to come back. It's me talking. Who do you feel is the best wrestler right now? Jonathan, right now in the world today? Talking about the world? Or the biggest promotions that we know of, not counting the guys that worked in Legion Hall yesterday that had the best match on the planet that will never be seen. And I'm not being funny. In my opinion, Okada is the best in the business. It's my opinion. Kazuchika Okada in New Japan is the best in the world. It's just me. I think that AJ Styles is a close number 2, and I think they could switch places at any moment. I think Hiroshi Tanahashi is still one of the best in the world, just as I believe Jay White is becoming one of the best in the world. And Seth's got to be in the conversation as well. And I'm being dead serious. That's how I feel. Let's see. Paul, you out of here? All right, Paul. Thanks for hanging out, man. I am going to see Captain Marvel for sure. Who else is going to see that next week? I'm anxious to see it. I want to see them put the doubters and the critics to shame. I do, and the haters for sure. Jim, yeah, I'll put Daniel Bryan in there. I'll say top 10 for Daniel. I don't know about top 5. Just me. And I you know what I think that comes from? I think that comes from him not. I think a lot of the conversations about who's the best right now is a very what have you done for me lately kind of conversation. Daniel hasn't exactly been in 5-star Hall of Fame matches recently. Some, but not on a consistent basis. You know what I mean? Where it would make you stand out. But sure, I'll say top 10. What else we got? We've been going for an hour. We're going to start taking this home. So who else has got something maybe we haven't talked about yet? Lance mentioned Will Ospreay. I do like Will. I have the same fears for Will's career as I do for Ricochet. I think they both at some point need to change up their game and evolve their style before one of them breaks their neck. I'm not being funny. I'm seriously concerned for both guys, as I am for a lot of guys. Barry, see you, man. Thanks for hanging out. Can I put you on my sports page, Philly Sports, and more with John Jay and the Guru TV title? U.S. Tag Team titles. Can I put you in my sports? Absolutely. George, do you have a podcast? I'll do your show, man. Not that I'm inviting myself on, but if you ever want me on your show, I'll be more than glad to. Absolutely. Send me a message, dude. If any of you out there are running podcasts, I'm more than happy to do a guest spot. Again, I mean, who am I, right? But if you want, I'll be more than happy to do it. I'm just throwing it out there for you. As long as it fits, get my schedule around it. No worries. Best guitar player and wrestler. The problem is I don't know how many of these guys play guitar on the side. Eric Bugenhagen plays guitar. This guy had one appearance on NXT on WWE Network, and he hasn't been on since then. What's going on with this guy? Did you see Eric Bugenhagen? It was fun. Go watch it. Go look it up if you haven't seen it. David asked thoughts on R-Truth. I love R-Truth. I hope he keeps the U.S. title at least to WrestleMania 35. Don't think he will, but I hope he would. That'd be cool. He deserves a WrestleMania moment, don't you think? He's been around for a long time. He's earned his keep. Samoa Joe booked Rollins since WWE hasn't put a bell on him yet. Josh just asked the question of a lifetime because I don't know if Joe's ever been booked correctly in WWE. We've all believed that. I think we've all felt that, to be fair. I love Joe a lot. The question I have for you always goes back to the same question I always have for all of you. What do the men and women involved, how do they really feel? Does Joe sit back thinking, I'm not being used enough, I'm not being used properly, I'm unhappy? Or is he okay? You and I can have our thoughts and feelings on Joe, and I agree with you. I don't think he's been used correctly at all. Just me. How does he feel? I'd love to know how he feels. You know what I mean? Really feels. That's the measure of what the truth is, don't you think? TV title, U.S. Tag Team titles should be the same. I'm okay with U.S. Tag Team titles, George. I love them back in the day, but honestly, man, I think they got too many titles. I am, however, a massive fan of a World Television Championship. Always have been, always will be. Here's the kicker to that. The caveat to that is that the World TV Champion has to be on TV every time they're on TV. Which means that's one spot that could be filled by somebody else. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean he's got to be working every week. He could even come out and cut a promo and say, as your World Television Champion, I will be here every week. Every week. So who would you want to see every single week on Raw and SmackDown? And maybe even NXT. I don't know. I love the idea, though. Okay, folks, I think we're getting ready to take this sucker home. As usually my judge is that the amount of viewers has dropped here. So somebody give me a good one now. We're going to start pitching or plugging the shows and stuff. Let me plug before I take the question. That way you guys aren't dropping out on me left and right. Sound good? Okay, so you can find me on several different spots. First and foremost, WrestlingRumors.net. Thank you very much. ProWrestling.com. The Floor Seat, and also the Chairshot.com. That's where I'm at right now. I got a website that I need to update. It really needs updating. It's called BoinkStudios.com. Follow me on Facebook if we're not friends. Send me a message or just look me up and follow me. I will follow you back. No worries there. Follow me on Twitter at Tom Clark Writes, WRITES, Tom Clark Writes. I will follow you back on Twitter. If you have anything you want to talk about, like I said before, if you guys are in any podcasts, I'll be glad to do a spot on there. Give me a follow anywhere on social media. I'll follow you back, man. As I said before, this show is free. All my content is free. Of course, I don't charge anybody for anything. That's not my game, not what I do. So please, let's be buds, pals, compadres, amigos, muchachos, dudes, bros, whatever. Cool with me. I love doing this show, by the way. Thanks, guys, for watching. Thank you, Jeff. Okay, all right, Keith just hit me with Fastlane. All right, here's my last one, Fastlane. I think Fastlane could be the biggest throwaway show you've ever seen, at least this year so far, or it could be the best show ever because it's the lead into WrestleMania. They still have not set up Shane versus Miz. They still have not set up a few other things that escape me at the moment. They've not set up the WWE Championship match yet. They could set that up. Several different things could happen at Fastlane that would be worth your time to watch. So yes, I think that Fastlane has potential to be a very good show. Whether or not it's going to happen, we'll see. Okay, I think that's it for us, man. That's all I got for you. So to anyone that I didn't get to, I tried to hit everybody here. If I didn't get to you, please don't take offense. We'll hit you next time. Let me know if I forgot you. I'll be sure to hit you next time. Okay, sound good? Listen, thanks again, you guys, for always tuning in, always hanging out. Please spread the word about the show. If you've got any friends or family on Facebook that's pro wrestling fans, hook them up, man. Have them watch the show. Please. I do appreciate it. A lot of people on my end of the business, survive by word of mouth and by building a fan base, which is what I'm trying to do here on Facebook. Please continue to read my stuff. Every time I plug something on the Boink Studios page and repost it on my Facebook page. By the way, my Boink Studios page on Facebook, go give it a like if you will and follow it. That'd be awesome if you would. I'd appreciate that. But every time you guys click and read a column, that helps me. So I appreciate that, of course. Thanks for hanging out, man. Tina, you have a great week. Jenna, the same to you. I'm going to see you later. George, take it easy. To everybody listening to the show today, thank you for downloading. If you are subscribing to the show on iTunes, please leave a review. We appreciate it. Positive review would be awesome. That's it for me, man. We're out of here. We will see you next time on Tom Clark's Main Event.